So a lot of the work in the OECD has been trying to advocate, particularly to OECD members, that the internet economy is rich, prodigious, and likely to be far more so in the coming years. But that delicate balance of power between carriage and content and exploitation, goods and services and consumers, where no one has the stultifying hand of monopoly behaviour, where one person's enterprise is always under constant innovative threat. That's great, that's what makes things work. But to preserve that, you need this gentle hand to say markets should be left open, competition is good, you should have access to the underlying resources that make communication services work. But NATs change all that. NATs are these toll gates, NATs are these constriction points that actually shut the internet down. And once the carriage and content guys get into the same room and collude, abandon hope. So part of the work in the OECD is to try and highlight what we're seeing today and highlight the ramifications of a failure to proceed with V6. That if you can't have open addressing, if you can't have openness at those very fundamental principles of networking, it's very hard to build a superstructure of industry that's also open, competitive and efficient. What you end up with instead are closed structures of what we call permission-based networking. I can only see video streams from the video provider that's made a deal with my local cable provider. Depressingly, some of those deals are appearing today. And whether it's called sponsored data or sponsored CDNs or content distribution networks, money is changing hands in ways that I think close down the openness of the internet, that cement the position of incumbents at the cost of the future boundless possibilities of creative innovation. Is that an OECD problem? I'll go straight to the OECD door and say yes. That kind of scale of problem and that kind of, we're dealing with that much of a future is right at their door. A complex problem that fundamentally is all about markets and economies as much as it's about technology. So yes, that's why we're there, and quite frankly we've been amazed at the level of reception that these folk are actually very pleased to see us there and contributing to this quite important debate.